Step one, well, he has a database that he is subscribed to, and he uses CoStar. And depending on your budget, CoStar could be pricey or could not be if you think about the value of what a deal could bring in your life. But regardless, however you think about it, he uses a database, CoStar. If you don't use a database like CoStar, then you can do it manually, and there's a process for doing it. But nonetheless, one, CoStar, he gets owner's information from there. Then two, he scrubs the list for properties that he's looking for, because you will get a large grouping of properties, and then you narrow it down based on what type of property you're particularly looking for. Then three, he goes to white pages, the premium model. I personally have not used white pages, but white pages, the website and the service, has come up multiple times this week, coincidentally, in my conversations with people who are tracking down phone numbers and contact information for owners. And again, you will have to do some scrubbing there too to get the right phone numbers. And some of them are like phone numbers from 10 years ago, but this seems to be the best service for that, to get phone numbers. So one, CoStar, have a service. Two, scrub the list, make sure that you've got it to where you want it, based on what you're purchasing, your price point, the type of property, etc., the area. Three, go to white pages, get a subscription there, and get the phone numbers for it. You make the phone calls. And then five, he actually reaches out to people on LinkedIn too, because he has the owner's information. He'll send them a message. And then, what's not in this 5-step process is obviously the follow-up, and that will likely generate more leads or more transactions than doing the 5-step process one time. So continuing to follow up, having a database to track that, etc. But it is a nice 5-step process that he laid out, and I wanted to share that for anyone who's having a challenging time finding deals. Well, here's a 5-step process for you to go undertake.
Yeah, and step two, scrubbing the list, is kind of something that's important for really no matter what type of lead generation strategy you're pursuing. And I was talking to a client this week, and he was saying, well, what happens if I find 50 deals or 30 deals in 1 week? How do I decide which ones are a top priority? And in that sense too, you have to scrub that list, and that's why you set, and it's why you need to figure out exactly what type of property you want to buy, what size property you want to buy, the cost, the class, the anything unique about the property. That way, if brokers are sending you a ton of deals, or you're pulling a list from CoStar, you're not looking at every single 50 unit. You're only looking at the 50 units that are Class B, that are in a specific neighborhood based off of some demographic factor. So that'll save you obviously a lot of time. Obviously it takes a time investment up front to do that, but it'll save you time from getting unqualified leads, or getting really excited about someone calling you, then you realizing that it's a deal that doesn't even meet your investment criteria because it's either too nice or not nice enough. And something else you said before, when you're saying how this strategy is really good for properties that are between 15 and 100 units. Something else that's interesting too about real estate is that there's really no one size fit all strategy for finding deals. And I was just kind of taking a step back, just because obviously if you're going to be doing something where you're reaching out, you want to find mom and pop investors or people who actually own the property and aren't raising capital, then you're not going to be able to look at, well, it's not going to be worth looking at 300 plus unit buildings, because sure, maybe just 0.1% of the people actually are buying those themselves, whereas it's better to focus on those smaller properties because the percentage of people that are actually mom and pop owners are going to be a lot higher.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting too. And that, again, that really, you can kind of apply that to anything. If you're underwriting a deal, you're not going to underwrite a 4-unit deal the same way you're going to underwrite, a 150-unit deal. So all these, rule of thumbs they're fine, I guess. But if you want to be more accurate, you really can't follow those rule of thumbs, because what works for a smaller building is not going to work for a medium building, which is not going to work for a larger building, and it's not going to work for retail, an office. And so I just think that's just something that is interesting, and I thought of it when you were mentioning how this only works for specific size range of properties.